You know, Nathan, not that long ago in North America, BMW really only had 3 numbers, right? A 3, a 5, and a 7.
Pretty much.
And now there is 1 through 7, 8 is gone, but there's all these new cars, and this is one of them. What do we got here?
This is the BMW 435i with xDrive, and it has the M package, and it's awesome.
And it has 2 doors.
Yeah, only 2.
What's the point?
It's in between 5 and 3.
I don't get that, but what's the point?
It's in between 5 and 3.
And that is coming up next on the Fast Lane Car.
This is one of the best 6-cylinder engines out there. It's in a lot of different BMWs. In this version, this is a twin power turbo that puts out 300 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque. But check this out. It puts out 300 pound-feet of torque at 1,300 RPM, way down there. And it's hooked up to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Really wish it was the manual, but it's still really quick, and it's all-wheel drive. Altogether, it's kind of a badass car, and even though it's heavy, and it still feels really lively, and it launches like you wouldn't believe. It's got a really good off-the-line pull. It's gradual. It doesn't hammer you in the chest. And what's really cool is that when you're in manual mode, it'll go all the way up to 7,000 RPM, and it will hold it there. So, you know, when you really want to push it and want to hold those gears, it'll let you do that, which is awesome. Downshifting, it's iffy. So like right now, I'm at 6,000 RPM and I want to downshift to second gear. It's not gonna let me do it. That's a stupid thing to do anyway. So.
Yeah. But you are driving it like you stole it, which is the way BMW should be driven.
Well, they're the ultimate driving machine, right?
Well, that's what they say.
That's what they say, and you know what? It's a really good driving machine.
This car directly competes with the Audi S5, and in my mind, style-wise, it's a toss-up. They're both sexy, they're both gorgeous, they're both cars that I would love to be seen in. However, there is a difference, and that's in the interior. Both cars are minimalist, but the Audi is an elegant, crisp, and I would say expensive interior, whereas the BMW feels minimalist and somewhat inexpensive. Yeah, all the controls are where you want them to be. The car has this kind of honest personality, but it doesn't have that little bit extra, you know, that 11 that takes the interior from being okay to being great, like the Audi. How's the road feel?
Okay, it's good. It's not great. I like the steering feel, okay? And I know exactly where my front wheels are. I know exactly where I can put them. That's awesome. Seat of the pants feel is weird. I think it has to do with the fact this is a very heavy car.
It's a very wide car, so you can really feel the width.
Yeah, it's like the Twilight Zone. You sit in it and you feel at first like, okay, it's like a 3 Series. And then you realize, oh, whoa, there's an extra 2 inches in this thing.
Nathan, these cars are certainly not about utility.
No, not at all.
I've got an idea. Put the seat back.
All right.
All right, and let's hit that little button and get the seat back and see which one of us cries uncle first. Uh-oh, there goes my knee. Oh, it's squishing my knee. Uncle.
Obviously, your legs are longer than mine.
Yeah, not a lot of room back here. Not a lot of headroom. This is a place that maybe if you're going out to lunch with a bunch of friends, you might want to get stuck in, but that's about it.
Well, no, my 2 little ones fit back here. There's a kid seat can fit here, and a regular kid can fit there.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Sell that to your wife. Honey, look, the kid seat fits
They
in
can
here.
fit here for like 2 years, and then I know. But you know, But I'll tell you this. Okay, granted, not a lot of headroom, but at least my tush is comfortable.
Yes, the tush room is adequate, but that's about all I can say about the back. Sounds weird, but quiet is the new luxury, right?
Yeah.
And it's a little loud. And I don't mean the loud engine noise. I mean a lot of air noise, which is not that grand.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me too much.
I know I'm whining, but still.
I like that noise.
Yeah, that's a good noise.
But the induction noise in this car doesn't sound as good as it has in other vehicles. Like the Z4 with the same exact engine sounds a lot better to me. You know, it's just, I'm nitpicking, I know, but it's just a little.
But you have to. BMW is such a great driving experience at this point that you have to nitpick.
That's a good sounding 6-cylinder. Straight 6s always sound better than V6s in my book, and this one sounds, ooh, gives me chills.
Hey guys, check this out. This is some pretty elegant and cool engineering. Check out what happens when I close the door. Looky there. Now that is pretty cool. The car actually hands me the seatbelt without having the seatbelt in any kind of a harness so that it doesn't get in my way. Very elegant solution to a problem that has been plaguing these sorts of cars for a long time. And there it goes. It retracts. How cool is that?
First 0 to 60 run, I'm going to do in regular mode, just the regular drive. It's like the first level sport. There's comfort. Yeah, first sport. All right. And then we're going to see what it's like to do it in the launch control mode after this. So first this one. So here we go. I'm going to give it about 3,000 RPM. There we go. Wow, this thing really does take off nice. Woo! It's a little slower than I expected, but that wasn't the best launch in the world. And that's why there's launch control. And, by the way, launch control is really easy to use on this car, unlike a lot of other BMWs. So 5.84. Now, for those of you who haven't been watching us, we are over a mile above sea level. And even with the turbocharger, it does affect horsepower. BMW says that this car will do 0 to 60 at sea level around 4.7 seconds. That's impressive. So this is how the launch control works. You put it into Sport Plus, which shuts off traction control, and then you sport mode. Oh, okay. Then you hold the brake down and the accelerator, and nope, that's not it. Wait a minute. There was one more thing. Sport mode. Traction control, Sport Plus. Okay, then you move that over. Okay, and then nope, that's not it either. Shoot. Let's see. Over, Sport Plus, Sport settings on. What am I missing? I'm missing Andre. He usually explains these things to me. Where's up? There it goes. Launch control active. Here we go. A lot faster. Whoa. Goofy grin on the face. Woo! Yeah, it's faster. But it's about what I expected. 5.5 seconds. 5.50. Altitude does make a difference.
Nathan, on the TFL scale of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it, I'm going to give it a lease it for one simple reason. This car starts at 48, but it goes all the way up to 64,000 with the options. That's a $16,000 difference, and that is just, ooh, crazy.
It is, and what they're getting you on are the options. I mean, check it out. The M package, which is wheels and the interior and whatnot, $3,100. The technology package, $3,150. It's just, they get you on all levels, and it's just too much.
Yeah, and I bet you if you could find a base version of this, right, which you can't probably, it would not have the same stuff that a Hyundai Elantra has.
Yeah, you might be right. So I'm going to give it a lease it as well, but my reason's different, and it has two things going on for it, and that is S5. The Audi S5, in my mind, a slightly superior vehicle and a little bit easier as a daily driver, and frankly, one that I would buy.
As always, this is Roman.
And Nathan.
Saying thanks for watching, and check out tflcar.com for all your car news, views,
and reviews.
Ciao. See you next time.
Adios.
So part of me, though, says that this car is a little bit of a poser, right? Whenever you have the M stuff without the goods, and the goods being the engine, you're kind of saying, hey, check me out, I've got all the go-fast stuff, but even though it has 300 horsepower, even though it's fast, it doesn't have 500 horsepower.
Yeah, it's not a fire-breathing,
monster, yeah.
M. And, I love the M steering wheel. It's one of the best steering wheels in the world. Just perfect grip. But I agree with you. It's like putting a fake badge on a car, saying it's something that it's not. It's just a little irritating that you can do that just by spending a couple $1,000, $3,000 in this case, and then you slap the badges on, you get the cool brakes, but in reality, it's not that car. So I really wish they had like a M delete option. You get all the M stuff, but you delete it so you don't look like you're a poser.
You know what you want? You want the M engine without all the M badges.
That would be awesome. I would love that.
Well, sleeper.
They had stuff like that in the past too, where you could get like almost everything, and like a CL version way back in the day, or a C something, right?
And that is really popular in Germany. In Germany, actually, they delete the badges completely, so you never know, except for looking maybe at the exhaust pipes, what car is fast BMW, what cars are slow BMW. And speaking of fast and slow, I love the handbrake.
Yeah, manual handbrake. How awesome is that? Well, you guys know I love handbrake turn, but it's also nice to have it. It gives you a little bit more connection. I wish this was the manual 6-speed. I really do.
Yeah, how about the 8 gears? How's that?
It's working really good. I mean, I still am not a big fan of the automatic transmissions BMW puts together. Not because of the transmissions, they're always really well made. It's the actual control, and this gear lever is just like all the other ones. It's sort of counterintuitive.
And let's see, if I put you in sport mode, it does firm up the suspension, right?
Yep. Well, it'll tell you what it's doing right here, and it does a couple things. The suspension changes, the steering changes, the shift algorithm changes, and then if you go to Sport Plus, it shuts off some of the traction control systems, allowing a little bit more wheel slippage, firms everything up, including suspension. Steering is really firmed up, and
but here's the kicker, guys, and this is the big why, right? You can get all this stuff, everything we just mentioned, in a 3 Series for less.
But it's smaller. It's smaller.
It's smaller. It doesn't look as sexy, but all the stuff that makes this a real BMW, the stuff that's in the DNA, right? Mm-hmm. The engine, the suspension, the road feel, all that you can get in the 3 Series. Plus, you can put real adults in the back, and that's the why.
Well, yeah, and the other part is, this has a little bit more street presence than that car, I think.
Yeah,
it's a good-looking car.
You're paying for the look. You're saying it's like wearing a Rolex, right? You're saying there are more practical things I could be wearing, like a Timex, but I want to show you that I've got the money to buy a Rolex. I've got the money to buy a 4 Series.
You know what though? We need to listen in on more German phone calls. That's what we need to start doing as Americans, so we can figure out exactly what they had in mind. But I can tell you this. This car feels to me a little bit more 6-ish, which is one of my favorite cars in terms of overall
so
feel.
You're saying you're getting a baby 6 for the price of a...
Yeah, a little bit more of that, This is a coupe version of a 5 Series, and the 5 Series is an amazing car.
I can see that. So the glass is half empty versus the glass is half full.
Or the other way around.
I mean,
if you want to be... I still think this is a wonderful car. I understand the guys who would dig it, but I still don't quite get the German mentality of why they built it. So, I understand your point, but at the same time, I dig it. It's a great car.